Hello once again, watchers of good movies. My name is Nick Pell, and this is my review of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Now, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark is a movie which is based on a book series which tells scary stories to tell in the dark. And I kind of see this movie as a more mature horror film-esque version of the Goosebumps movie that came out 5 or 6 years ago now, where they have this book and creatures from this book are basically coming to life and causing these stories to be real. And it's kind of writing its own story itself, and kids in this small town are starting to go missing as a result of this story, and a group of friends have to basically figure out what's going on and how to stop it from occurring. Zoe Margaret Coletti, she is the main star, I would argue, of this film, and I would argue that she also does kind of a star-making role in this film, because she was easily my favorite actress and character in the movie, because she just has a lot of depth to her character, there's a lot of backstory, and she, I think, just gives the best performance overall of all the actors in the film. I just really enjoyed seeing her character on screen. There's a lot of good chemistry amongst the cast itself as well. It takes place in the 60s, so it kind of has those tropes and those ideas, but I liked how all the kids kind of got along with each other and just had this kind of good camaraderie with each other as these horrific events started occurring to them. And in that sense, I couldn't help but feel a little bit nostalgic for It, the movie It, which came out 2 years ago now, because it kind of has that same tone, because a lot of the horrific events only take place at night when the story is being written, and so during the daytime it's a lot of mystery and kind of solving and trying to figure out what is going on in this town as a result of this book, which is writing its own stories and causing these creatures to come to life. And so it just kind of reminded me of It, where we have this group of kids trying to figure out why Pennywise is happening and how to stop him. It just had that callback feel for me, and I really appreciate that, and it made me enjoy the film a lot more as a result. Part of that is also the kills in this film, because as it's a PG-13 film, it can't really rely heavily on like blood and gore and all that stuff, and as a result it creates these really clever kills, and which don't really require a lot of blood and gore, with the way that they take people down with like a scarecrow and a creature from one's imagination, and just other things which come to life, and it's very creative with that stuff, and part of that's because of the CGI and the special effects. I'm not sure how much of a difference there is with like real life effects and practicality as opposed to like CGI. I'm sure there's a mixture of the two, but it all looked really, really good. The only real negative that I had is that as a PG-13 horror film, it does have some predictability in regards to kind of when the jump scares are going to happen, because they're in this film, but I could kind of more or less predict how they're going to happen and when they're going to happen. So it doesn't do anything new in that regard, but the majority of the jump scares in this film are legit. They're not like a squirrel running around outside in a trash can. It's actual like creatures that are causing these jump scares, and so it doesn't feel cheapened in that respect. And without spoiling the ending, the film does kind of seem to set up something of a sequel if it does well enough in theaters, just by how the film ends itself. And so I'd be very curious to see what a sequel to this film could do, and kind of exploring the greater mystery of the film itself in its entirety, kind of how these things are occurring and what led up to them. So guys, overall I really enjoyed Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. It is honestly one of my favorite horror films of the year, probably up with the ranks of like Us from Jordan Peele and then Child's Play from a couple months ago. Those are probably my top 2 and now 3 horror films of the year, and so this one does it really well. I like horror films that are able to use their PG-13 rating to their favor, and they don't feel cheapened by it, and they don't feel like they're trying to be rated R without going the extra mile. And so it's kind of similar to how Ouija Origin of Evil was a couple of years back for me. This film is another one which I really, really enjoyed because of how well it used its PG-13 rating. So yeah, I highly recommend Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, but those are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments down below. Did you like it as much as I did? Did you hate it more than I did? Let me know. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. Once again, if so choose, I appreciate it immensely. Let me know your favorite horror film of the year thus far in the comments down below. I'd be very curious to see what your favorites have been, if they match with mine. If they don't, let me know. As always, my people, my name is Nick Pell, and once again, keep on watching.